All right, everybody, we are officially 1 week from Election Day. So we have asked Mark Namick, a 3 News contributor and managing editor at Signal Cleveland, a new nonprofit newsroom, to help us highlight some of the big races and issues going on. First of all, welcome back.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm happy to talk politics and, let people know a little bit about Signal Cleveland.
There are some really big races happening. We constantly are bombarded with messaging on the Senate race, but yet another Ohio race that is rather significant is the governor's race. It seems like it's been overshadowed by that Senate race.
Absolutely overshadowed because the governor is sitting comfortably as a Republican in a Republican state. He has not really been willing to really show up at forums or even debate. The Democrat, former Dayton Mayor Nan Whaley, and he's running from a safe position. It is a Republican state. If people forget that, Trump carried it by 8 percentage points in the last election, and that Governor DeWine fought off that right flank that really thought he was too soft, too restrictive during the COVID-19 period in the shutdown. So he beat that back. He's sitting comfortably. You're not seeing much now. It's a lot of safe ads from him. Talking about support for all the big things, right? Like police, and he lets the political action committees do the negative advertising. He's there. Nan Whaley's been fighting on 2 really big issues. One has been on gun control, because if you remember, she was mayor during the period in which people were shot, and Governor DeWine had pledged to come back and push some reforms, which she says he hasn't lived up to, and she's really driven a big issue around the abortion decision to show their differences.
Right.
And he's been cornered a bit by the far right of his party on that issue. She's tried to exploit it, but it's not enough, I think, given where the consistency of the polls are on this, that he sits in a position where it's his to lose.
Well, gun control and abortion, definitely 2 issues bringing voters to the polls this midterm election. What is this dynamic between the 2? How's it different from other gubernatorial races we've had in the past?
Well, one, they're pretty quiet because he doesn't need to debate. Typically, when you're in charge, you're not going to debate. It's different because the Democrats are not holding any offices statewide, so they lack the power of the ticket. They don't have the money and the name recognition that the Republican ticket does, so the governor sits on that. It makes it a little different. It's, we've had weak Democratic candidates. The last time, we've seen people go down. We had Ed Fitzgerald a couple races back running. It imploded midway through. They've not been able to field it. Nan Whaley is a stronger Democratic candidate on issues and policy, but doesn't have the money and doesn't have a real party infrastructure behind her.
All right, 1 week to go. Are you geared up and ready?
I'll be back.
Yes, you will. Mark Namick with Signal Cleveland helping us out here at 3 News.
Thanks, Betsy.
Thank you so much. We'll see you again. Well, remember, early voting is still happening up until Election Day. This week, Board of Election offices are open until 7 p.m. if you want to go and cast your vote. Absentee ballots are due by Monday, November 7th, and that means they have to be postmarked with that date or before. On Election Day, polls will be open at 6:30 in the morning, and they will be closing at 7:30. And remember, you can go to WKYC.com for our complete election guide, where you can find everything you need to know, including the issues, the big races, finding your polling place, and a whole lot more.